How to buy a house. In this video, I'm going to give you my personal advice on buying your first home. Okay, in today's world, many banks are willing to give out credit to people that are underqualified, people that don't have stable jobs, don't have a steady income, people that don't have good credit history. And the truth is that here in the US, most banks are willing to give you credit anyway. Now, this was one of the problems back in 2008. Remember the recession back in 2008? Well, many banks were giving out credit to underqualified people. And the problem was that they were not able to afford or make the monthly payments, the mortgage payments, and so the banks repoed the houses and then sold them, obviously for less money. So this happened nationwide, and the economy collapsed. Now, buying a first home can be one of the best things you can do long term. But if you do it wrong, it can also be one of the worst things you can do, because typically people buy their first home when in their 20s. So if you do it right, it can be a great blessing. If you do it wrong, it can be a nightmare. So the following tips are what I personally recommend to buying your first home. Number one, you want to save at least 20% of the value of the home to put down as a down payment, right? There are many banks who are willing to, like I said, give out credit where you can put down 5% or even less than that, 10%, 5%, 7%. And the problem with that is that you'll have what's known as PMI. That's private mortgage insurance. This is insurance for the bank. This is not for you. This is insurance for the bank so that if you are not able to make the payments, the bank has the property insured. The problem is that you get to pay for it. So you pay for insurance for the bank, and in the event you don't make the payments, the bank keeps the property and all the money that you've already paid. So that can be $200, $250, even $300 a month extra on top of your monthly payment for insurance that's not even going to be for you. It's going to cover the bank. Okay, so if the property is worth around, let's say, $200,000, then 20% would be $40,000, right? You would only be financing at that point $160,000. That's what I recommend. I recommend about 20% of the total value to put down as a down payment. Tip number two, I would recommend that you calculate, once you put down 20% and you're financing, let's say, $160,000 in our $200,000 example, that you calculate that the monthly payment should be no more than 25% of your take-home pay. That means that if your take-home pay after taxes and deductions is around $4,000, your monthly payment should not be more than $1,000 a month. So why less than 25%? Well, it's very easy. When your monthly payment is 25% of your take-home pay, then you're able to make other payments with ease. You're able to pay your property insurance, you're able to pay your property taxes, you're able to save and invest every month, and so you're not going to be struggling every month just to make the monthly payment. You'll have room in your budget to pay for other things. If this is your first time buying, you're going to have some new expenses that you might not be used to, like keeping the property. If something happens to the water heater, you're responsible for it. If something happens to the AC, you're going to be the one paying for it. The garbage disposal, anything. All those charges, all those expenses, you're going to be the one paying for them. When you're renting, something happens to the property, the landlord comes in and takes care of that. Not when you're a homeowner. That's why you want your monthly payment to be no more than 25% of your take-home pay, so that you have more room in your budget for these things, for these accidents or necessities that come up in life. In addition, if you have a 30-year note, meaning that you're supposed to make the payments for 30 years, you want to be investing. You want to be saving and investing every month and every year. So if the monthly payment is way too high, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be able to invest the way that you should for retirement. Again, that's why I'm saying that your that your monthly payment should not be any more than 25% of your take-home pay per month. Now, if you are somewhat scared of the market, you were hurt back in 2008, you're not sure if buying a home is right for you, then I would say pay off all your debt before you buy a house. Okay, pay off your debts. Once you've paid off your debts, save down 20% for a down payment, and then buy a house that way, following the 25% rule that I mentioned. This is very personal. Some people might not agree with this because, well, debt is risk, and some people are willing to risk more than other people. For instance, me. When I'm over leveraged, let's say 50% or more of my money is leveraged, I'm starting to feel a little bit risky. I'm starting to feel a little bit anxious. And so I personally don't like to risk um, a high percentage of my money. That's why I'm saying that debt is risk. Whether it can be good or bad risk, well, that depends. Some people are willing to tolerate more risk than others. And that's why some people say, no, I'll buy a house even though I have $50,000 in debt. That's okay. If they're willing to do that and they're okay, they're able to sleep at night, then that's fine. That's a personal decision. That's why I'm saying, if you are on the fence, if you're not too sure, then pay off your debts first. Wait a couple of years. Pay off your debts, and then you'll be ready in 2-3 years to buy a house, and you might feel a lot safer that way. Okay, so to finish the video, like I said, it's really buying a house can be a great thing, especially if you do it the right way. So make sure you put down at least 20% of the total value of the house, okay? This helps you avoid PMI. And also, tip number 2, make sure that the monthly payment, okay, the mortgage, is no more than 25% of your take-home pay after taxes. So if after taxes you make $4,000, your monthly payment should not be more than $1,000. If you found any value at all in this video, please make sure you subscribe, leave a like. I'm going to be posting more videos about personal finance in this channel. Thank you very much.